Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news, so folks, hold on to your seats because there's some serious buzz swirling around the NFL, and more specifically, around the possibility of the New York Giants making a bold move that could reshape their defense and their entire trajectory for the coming seasons. The word on the street, whispered among insiders and NFL analysts alike, is that the Giants are eyeing a blockbuster trade involving T.J. Watt from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I know what you're thinking. Watt to the Giants? That's a game changer, and you're right. This isn't just speculation for the sake of gossip. It's rooted in some serious NFL-level maneuvering that could very well alter the balance of power in the NFC East. Let's back up a little and get into the details. T.J. Watt, at 31 years old, is still considered one of the elite pass rushers in the league. His production in recent seasons has been nothing short of stellar. In 2025, despite dealing with a hamstring injury that caused him to miss a couple of games, Watt still managed to rack up 5 sacks, 72 pressures, and an impressive pass rush grade of 94 from PFF. That's the kind of impact that can turn a defense from good to elite in an instant. Over his career, Watt has accumulated 110 sacks, and his EPA, expected points added, per sack sits at -0.18, which is quite significant in terms of creating turnovers and disrupting opposing offenses. The Steelers, meanwhile, are facing some tough financial decisions. They have a cap space of around $65 million for 2026, but with extensions and new contracts looming, they're likely to face a cap crunch after the 2025 season, especially with a 9-8 record last year. The idea floating around is that Pittsburgh might consider trading Watt for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and a fourth-round pick in 2027. This move would free up roughly $21 million in cap space, which they could then reinvest into younger players, perhaps on the offensive line, which has been a point of concern recently. Pittsburgh has also been cautious about Watt's age, but the value he still provides on the field makes him a hot commodity. Now the Giants are reportedly very interested in this move, and for good reason. Their defense has struggled to generate enough pressure consistently, and that's been a glaring weakness, especially after losing players like Kayvon Thibodeaux to injuries and other key pieces. Adding Watt to this mix would be a massive upgrade, turning the Giants' pass rush from a decent unit into a fearsome one, capable of putting constant pressure on opposing quarterbacks and helping to elevate the entire defense. According to projections and advanced stats, Watt could be expected to notch around 15 sacks in the upcoming season, which would be a huge boost for a Giants defense that's already showing signs of improvement. What makes this even more intriguing is Watt's performance against the run. He's not just a pass rusher. He's solid against the run as well, allowing roughly yards per game in rushing yards when he's on the field. Pairing him with players like Kayvon Thibodeaux, who's already demonstrated his ability to rush the passer and set the edge, could create a dual threat that's tough for any offense to handle. The Giants' coaching staff has been emphasizing the need for a more aggressive, pressure-oriented defense, and Watt could be the missing piece that finally pushes them over the top. Let's not forget that Watt's impact isn't just about the stats. His presence commands double teams, which frees up other pass rushers to get to the quarterback, and his veteran leadership could be invaluable for a relatively young Giants defense. The team has been building around its core of talented players, but adding a proven superstar like Watt could be the catalyst for a true playoff push. The Giants' front office is reportedly evaluating the situation closely, weighing the benefits of acquiring Watt against the potential costs, including draft capital and salary considerations. Now there's some skepticism from the Steelers' side, understandably. They see Watt as a cornerstone player, and at 31, they're wary of trading away a player who's still performing at an elite level. But with the NFL's cap environment becoming tighter, and the team's focus shifting toward developing younger players on the offensive line, where they have a PFF grade of 68.9, trading Watt could be seen as a strategic move to rebuild the roster with an eye on the future. The potential savings of around $21 million in cap space could be used to address other needs. And with the Steelers' focus on retooling, the trade might make sense for both sides. For the Giants, this isn't just about upgrading a position. It's about making a statement. They're signaling to the rest of the league and to their division rivals that they're serious about contending now. The NFC East has become one of the most competitive divisions in recent years, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all vying for supremacy. Adding Watt could give the Giants that extra push needed to turn the tide and establish themselves as a true playoff contender, and perhaps even a Super Bowl favorite if everything falls into place. Looking at the numbers, Watt's presence would also boost their chances in close games. His ability to generate pressure in critical moments, especially on third down, can be the difference between a win and a loss. Plus, his knack for forcing fumbles and creating turnovers aligns perfectly with the Giants' defensive philosophy of taking the ball away and flipping field position. In fact, Watt's career totals include 5 forced fumbles and 30 QB hits per season, which is exactly the kind of production that elevates a defense from average to elite. The potential trade also reminds us of recent blockbuster moves like the Mac to Colts deal, which shook up the AFC South and sent ripples across the league. That kind of trade can set a precedent for the Giants if they decide to go all in on Watt. It's about making bold moves when the opportunity arises, especially for a team that's been on the cusp of playoff success, but just needs that extra piece to push them over the edge. Of course, everything hinges on negotiations and the willingness of the Steelers to part ways with Watt, but the signs are pointing toward a serious possibility. The Giants' defense, especially their pass rush, needs an infusion of talent and swagger. Watt's arrival could also have a ripple effect, energizing the entire team and boosting morale as they prepare for the upcoming season. Fans are already dreaming of Watt lining up opposite Kayvon Thibodeaux, creating a duo that offensive lines will dread facing week after week. And let's not forget, this move could send shockwaves through the NFC East. The Eagles have been dominant, but adding Watt to a Giants squad that's already on the rise could make them the division's new nightmare. The Cowboys, always a tough out, might find themselves in even more trouble trying to contain such a formidable pass rush. Meanwhile, the Commanders would have to scramble to adjust their blocking schemes. It's the kind of move that can shift the balance of power, and Giants fans should be excited about the possibilities. In the end, this is about more than just a trade rumor. It's about the hope and belief that the Giants are serious contenders, ready to make bold moves to finally break through and bring a championship back to New York. Watt's elite talent and leadership could be the missing ingredient that transforms this team into a legitimate Super Bowl threat. The front office's willingness to pull the trigger on such a deal speaks volumes about their ambitions, and it's a message that the Giants are in it to win it. So as fans, we should stay tuned and keep our fingers crossed. This could be the move that sparks a new era of greatness for the Giants. Whether it happens or not, one thing is clear. The NFL offseason is never boring, and the NFC East is about to get even more intense. The Giants are positioning themselves at the forefront of that storm, and the potential arrival of T.J. Watt could be the catalyst that finally takes them to the top. The road to another Super Bowl is always filled with challenges, but with Watt on board, the Giants' chances look a lot brighter. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Watt would be the perfect fit to elevate the Giants' defense and help them compete at the highest level? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. Remember, this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and your support helps us bring you the latest updates, insights, and analysis. Stay tuned, because I'll be back soon with more news, rumors, and breakdowns about the Giants' journey toward another Super Bowl run. Let's keep that passion alive and keep dreaming big, Giants fans.